Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankara Vavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. The few minutes silence was so deep, Ramraji, to this.
Yeah. I think we can all share, no, what we have, what is our takeaway from the session. Even if it's a one sentence or two sentences, even if it's one or two sentences, it is good, because then that is exactly what Nana was saying. He says it's very important for everybody to express. In fact, he suggested that during the Manana, it'll be good if each one of us, on a daily basis, takes up 3 or 4 stanzas from the Gita home study it, and then present it. So that way, when you actually start speaking, then what is actually happening is your clarity of knowledge will improve. So it is a growth for everyone. It is not just 1 or 2 or 3 people speak. Everybody who's there in the Manana, that way everybody else also will benefit. So the whole group, it's a group effort.
Jai Gurudev, he was kept on emphasizing in this that everything is one consciousness.
Right.
Though it's in different pots, contains a chili powder or a stone or whatever it is. Just end up this thing, everything is just one consciousness.
Very beautiful. Yeah. So that is why we don't label anyone as good or bad. So, you know what, when he was giving that beautiful example of that million pots, different colors, and each one has different contents, there is actually no distinction between good and evil if you look at it from a broad sense. They're all part of the one Brahma. It's just that they're manifesting differently. And we give them the label good, not good, evil, sattva, rajas, tamo. They're all actually part of him. There is no difference. It's only that they're manifesting differently. So therefore, we don't need to look down upon anyone and judge them, and we have to look beyond the upadhis, beyond their external appearance, even their mind. Go beyond. And that is exactly how Gurudev looks at everybody. He says there is no culprit in the world. Even a terrorist, even a murderer, even someone who's in the jail, there is that divinity, and that is what we have to see. Go beyond the matter envelopments. If we can reach to that stage, then we see everybody as one.
Gurudev says, in the Ashtavakra, everything is a play of consciousness. Even so-called bad people are also part of the same system. They're created in order to have the play. So they're playing the role, that's it. A police and a thief.
Correct. But then we cannot see at one level, everyone is the same. But at the other level, at the Vyavaharika level, we of course have to use our Viveka. See why? That way you can say mud is the same, dosa is the same. So what difference does it make? I can eat mud also. But then at the Vyavaharika level, mud is not to be eaten. It's not an edible substance. You eat dosa, you eat fruits to nourish your body. So that level, there is that distinction that we need to use our viveka. We need to use our viveka, and then the different Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga has been beautifully categorized Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, the tamas aspects. So there we use it, but at one level, when you look at it from the Advaita level, everything is the same.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think we'll have to use this practicality when we live in the transactional world, in the world outside, with this knowledge in the backdrop.
Gurudev says, you can't put your hand on somebody's pocket just because we're all one consciousness.
Correct.
Yes.
True. That is true.
And the various upadhis cover us with the veil of ignorance. And when that ignorance, we come in knowledge, and that is removed, we feel that we are all one consciousness. And also,
Correct.
like, we come up like bubbles, life come up like bubbles, and then just goes away, and we feel as if we are here for like
eternity.
Forever. Yeah, it's
That's
just
such a
like bubbles.
beautiful example, that Budbudani va Varini. That's there even in Ashtavakra, also in the 8th chapter Bhagavad Gita, where Sargas Tithilayan Yanti, they are born, they stay for a while, and then they dissolve. It's such a
born in
existence. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Born in the same water, which is, the consciousness, the divine, born in it and then dissolve in it itself.
Yeah. Very true.
As everything is born out of Maya, and we feel connected to the upadhis, and we get caught up in that. So Nana gave very nice example of the bride and groom's example, where the guest was representing himself like something different, but Ajnana takes the back seat when we come to know what we are. So like that, he vanished. So Ajnana, when vanish, we come to know what we are, and then the distinctions will go away, like what he said, like Buddha and all that examples. I loved it.
Yeah, very beautiful. Very nice, Sarlaji. Yeah, this was a little clear to me, because I think some of us here had these questions, and I think all of us have the question. How did the first karma begin? How did the first samskara begin? How did the first human being come across? Isn't it? So from the whole Brahma, because of Ajnana, Maya is...
Actually, he said, you don't have to worry about Ajnana. You have to worry about your Jnana, what you are.
Correct. That is where the questioning, kastvam koham kutayat. So once you start questioning, what is this? Who is this ignorant? I mean, who is this? What is this ahankara? Once you start questioning, it disappears. So our attempt in Vedanta is not to understand how Maya, what ignorance is. Ignorance is beginningless. Just like how Brahma is also beginningless, but Brahma is infinite and it is the only truth. Whereas ignorance is beginningless, but it has an end. So our pursuit is to put an end to ignorance with knowledge. So our focus should be on acquiring knowledge so that we can put an end to this ignorance. Otherwise, it is like endless. You will go on asking which came first, the hen or the egg, the hen or the egg. It's an endless thing. It's like a circle. Where is the starting, beginning of a circle? There is no beginning of a circle. It is there. That's it. So we understand.
Gurudev gives a very beautiful example of a tennis ball. So tell me, where is the beginning?
Beginning.
Yeah. Tennis ball.
Isn't it? So that is how I guess we have to understand and quieten our logical mind. The logical, analytical mind always wants an answer. How did this happen? How did this? You understand it's there. That's it. Go about how to get to knowledge. So what I will do is, if anybody else wants to share, please do. If not, we'll just quickly run through the Atma bodha meanings. 1 second.
Yeah, Jai Gurudev Di, my net was not working. Nana
Okay.
ji gave the example of that man who was very well dressed, and yes, everybody thought he's from the bride side and the bridegroom
Yeah.
side. So
Yeah.
what does that depict? Because my net was not working that
That
time.
depicts ajnana. So when the bride's father asked the bridegroom's father, who is this man? I thought it belongs to you. He says, no, I thought he belongs to you. By then, this guy vanished. So once
Yeah.
you start questioning, then that the ajnana will disappear.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was the significance.
Yeah, Hari Om. I just liked the way Nanaji portrayed that people started treating him. I mean, we give so much importance to BMI, body, mind, intellect, that whatever appears good, handsome, beautiful, we start immediately paying more attention to that physical attributes, ignoring the other aspects. I mean, Ajnana that was very striking for me.
Correct. That is how Maya is. No, Maya is such a, it will, like Rajima had mentioned, it comes up in 1,000 hoods. It is like, Maya is likened to Adishesha, where it will show its presence in 1,000 different ways. And you know, it's a difficult thing to get over Maya. And so therefore you need to be really alert and aware. It's like a tightrope walk, this path. A little here and there, you will slip. So, there was another thing I wanted to share. Yeah. So we keep giving this respect to this person, the ajnana, and all the envelopments that come along with it. Just like how we become Indriya Rama. You know, these two words have been in my mind ever since Nana talked about it 2-3 days ago. Indriya Rama versus Atma Rama. Indriya Rama is, everything is so beautiful, very attractive. The world outside is very enticing. But then ultimately, when you realize it is nothing but it's impermanent, it's unreal, it is all born out of Maya, and it is not taking us anywhere in this pursuit. So I think, yeah, we started from Upadane, right? Upadane. Here, when there is this S, no, there is you have to do a little dirgha. Upadane khila. That akhila comes in there. Otherwise, you can break it up and say Upadane akhila dhare. But actually, when you break up, it loses that little rhythm. Upadane khila dhare jaganti parameshware sargasthiti layan yanti budhani varini. Upadane, which is the material cause, akhila dhare, which is the support of everything, jaganti, the worlds, parameshware, in the supreme self, sargasthiti layan, rising, existing and dissolving. Sarga is rising, sthiti is existing, laya is dissolving. Yanti, pass away. Budbudani, bubbles, eva, like. Varini, in the waters. Like bubbles in the water, the worlds rise, exist, and dissolve in the Supreme Self, which is the material cause and the prop of everything. The Hindu thinkers of the past seem to have given a more serious attention to the principle of creation than many of the other religionists. Their acute analytical approach to problems of life can, in its thoroughness and completeness, beat even many of the modern scientific methods. Nothing new is ever created by anyone. The change of form, name, nature, and conditions is all that is creation. That's such a powerful statement. Nothing new is ever created by anyone. It is just what is. It's just that if you can imagine a huge field, now everybody is talking of fields. It's a huge field of energy, and there is only the like bubbles. There are these little worlds that are formed. So it is only that is there. It is only a change of form, name, nature, and conditions is all that is creation. Reconversion alone is creation. In thus creating a thing, three essential factors are necessary, and they are together in their aggregate called as the cause. In any creation, three types of causes must come into play: the material cause, the efficient cause, and the instrumental cause. In the case of a potter making a pot on his wheel with mud, the potter is the efficient cause, the wheel is the instrumental cause, and the mud is the material cause. Upadana karana. In all pot creations in the world, the potter is separate from the mud. In the creative process of the finite emerging from the infinite, the material cause and the efficient cause are one and the same. Just as bubbles in water are but water rising in water, existing in water, and when they burst, merging back to become water, so too are the plurality cognized by the body, mind, intellect, all a play of names and forms upon the infinite consciousness, the eternal substratum divine. This is such a profound concept that we all have to kind of nicely understand. In the finite world, like in the potter, mud, there are three causes required for any creation to happen. Number one, there is nobody creates anything new. It is only a change of name, form, condition, and situation that creates the apparent illusion of creation. When talking of the finite world, when there is creation, there are three causes required. That is the efficient cause, the instrumental cause, and the material cause. In the case of the potter, in the case of a pot, creation of a pot, you have the potter as the efficient cause, the potting wheel, the potter's wheel as the instrumental cause, and the mud as the material cause. So the potter is different from the material cause. But in the creative process of the finite, emerging from the infinite, that is the creation of the world from Brahma, the material cause and the efficient cause are one and the same. The material cause is Brahma. The efficient cause is also Brahma. That is Maya, which has gotten Brahmashreya Maya. So all that is different is the play of names and forms. If you remember, there are 5 aspects to creation, right? I think Asti, Bhati, Preeti, Nama, and Rupa. So the first 3 are changeless. Asti, Bhati, Preeti will remain the same. What change is only nama and rupa. So we get caught up in the nama and rupa and think that is the world, whereas we do not anchor ourselves in the first three, asti, bhati, priti, which is Satchidananda. Yeah. But the Supreme Brahman undergoes no change, it being absolute. It can suffer no modification in itself. How can then the world of multiplicity originate from that Brahman? It can only be an appearance. There is no real manifestation, surely no factual creation. It is just like a dream in our sleep, dream state, how we dream. It's only an appearance. Satchidan manyanusyute nitye vishnau prakalpitaah vyaktayo vividha sarvaha hatake katakadivat. Satchidatmani, whose nature is existence, intelligence, anusyute, which is all pervading, nitye, eternal, Vishnau, upon Vishnu, one whose stride is the largest, prakalpitaha, projected by imagination, vyaktayaha, manifested, vividhaha, manifold, sarvaha, all, hatake, out of gold, katakadivat, just as bracelets and other ornaments. All the manifested world of things and beings are projected by imagination upon the substratum, which is the eternal, all-pervading Vishnu, whose nature is existence, intelligence. Just as the different ornaments are all made out of the same gold. An ordinary gross mind can never lift itself up to grasp easily the subtle truths of the highest Vedanta. Very frequently, innumerable examples are to be repeated to push the subtle philosophical ideas into the comprehension of an ordinary intellect. You know, this is an answer to my question that I was having. I said, why did Bhagwan have to give, so many examples, so many chapters to make Arjuna understand? So this is such a beautiful answer to that. An ordinary gross mind can never lift itself up to grasp the subtle truths. So therefore, innumerable examples have to be given. When they are quite apt, the students become pleasantly aghast at the revelations, and the truth becomes more and more clear to them. Which is also why I understand why Gurudev has created so many different courses, so many different, avenues going to the truth. One is through art and dance, the other is through, because you never know who has which vasana through which they will be attracted to the path. So he's got such a multi-pronged approach. In any creation, there must be, as we have already noted, three fundamental and separate causes. The material cause or the raw material, the instrumental cause, the equipment with which the object is created, and the efficient cause, the intelligence that creates or works at the material with the instruments. In all creations, the three causes exist separately, and the material cause transforms itself into the created new thing. But in the case of the creation of the world, the objects created are not different from the creator. The material cause, the one supreme Paramatman, itself manifests as different objects. For in the infinitude of its existence, there cannot be a second infinite. The waves in the ocean cannot claim a separate existence apart from the waters of the ocean. Likewise, this outer world and our own world of experiences in the physical, mental, and intellectual spheres rise from, exist in, and merge back into that one supreme awareness which glows in everybody. And like the bubbles that form and burst upon the surface of the water, different experiences in different bosoms rise and fall before that one consciousness. Here, Vishnu is not to be understood as the four-armed divine deity of the Trinity, as the Puranas often describe. No doubt, when we conceive of a shape of the pens to the gold, when a gold ring goes out of shape, or even when the ring is melted, so too, even when the entire universe tumbles down, nothing happens to the eternal reality. It is ever changeless, immutable. So I just wanted to share here that all of us having different, likewise, the outer world, our own world of experiences, physical, mental, intellectual spheres, they merge back into that one supreme awareness which glows in everybody. So it depends on how pure we are. This antakarna shuddhi that we require, that we've been, harping in karma yoga, if that happens, then antakarna shuddhi is there, we're crystal clear, then the supreme awareness glows completely. There is no, it's so transparent that is what shows. But if you have a lot of malina, a lot of dirt, all this, with, should we say, all these vasanas, all these tendencies, negativity, all of this, it is like blocking the glow from glowing. Otherwise, everybody has the glow inside. Yatha ka, anyone wants to share, please?
I have a question. So, sorry, I was driving, so I couldn't answer that earlier part. But then again, Vishnu here, they said it's not, he didn't mean, of course, Lord Vishnu. Then what Vishnu means, like,
Vyapakatvat Vishnu. Vishnu, the actual meaning of Vishnu, the explanation is Vyapakatvat Vishnu. That
right,
which is all pervading is Vishnu.
He is all everywhere. That's
everywhere. Yeah, that is Vishnu.
Everywhere. So that's what's the meaning it's provided here.
Correct.
But that is not anything different from the real Vishnu also.
Yeah,
right?
Which is true, but then we cannot bring in the Puranic Vishnu here, because then it will not fit into the meaning. What is meant here?
The one that he's calling it a Vishnu.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
I think the first stanza of Vishnu Sahasranamam is what?
Vishnave Namaha.
Vishvam Vishnurva Shatkaro, right?
No, yeah, to Vishwasmai. First one is Vishwasmai. And then the second one is Vishnave. And then the third one is Vashatkaro. So Vishwasmai is, he's the whole, like he's, there is a big explanation for Vishwasmai. And
so Vyapakatvat Vishnu. And Nana had also given a beautiful explanation for Govinda. I forgot to write it down.
Yeah.
Govinda.
Yeah, I really liked it. Like he said, go and then Vinda something. You kind of.
The actual, the essential meaning is the Govinda is that the knowledge. I think I'm not sure. I think I might be saying it wrong, but that which you get from the knowledge you get from the Guru and the Vedanta Vakyas.
Right. Vinta is like from Vedanta, something like that he said.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
I'll ask him to give us the meaning and I will share that. The whole explain the
Govinda, right?
yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yatha kasho hrishikesho nanopadhigato vibhuhu tadbhedad bhinnavad bhati tannashe kevalo bhavet. Yatha, just as, akashaha, space, hrishikeshaha, the omnipresent truth, nanopadhigataha, associated with various conditionings, vibhuhu, the all-pervading, tad-bhedat, on account of their upadhis or manifold nature distinct from each other, bhinnavad bhati, appears to be diverse, tannashe, on the destruction of these upadhis, kevalaha, one, bhavet, becomes. The all-pervading akasha appears to be diverse on account of its association with various conditionings or upadhis, which are different from each other. Space becomes one on the destruction of these limiting adjuncts. So also, the omnipresent truth appears to be diverse on account of its association with the various upadhis and becomes one on the destruction of these upadhis. This is where he gave the beautiful example of the multiple pots, million pots out there. So once the pots are broken or they are removed, then what remains is just the all-pervading akasha, the space. Behind all the seeming multiplicity of existence and the manifold nature of our experience, the one unchanging substratum persists in all its splendor. This we variously call as the Brahman, the Paramatman, the Satchidananda, etc. This supreme being alone is the dynamic truth, and no differentiation is possible in this state of absolute reality. How then do we come to feel the plurality in the outer world of innumerable objects, which we experience now as so real? If the spirit that pulsates through all the objects in and around us is that one without a second, why this conflict is being created by the perception of plurality in us? We discover the necessary courage to inquire in this fashion because we are not prepared to accept all statements of truth merely because they had been declared by the ancient and the learned. Both our head and heart must assimilate any new idea before they can become really our own. And in fact, then alone can these philosophical ideas readily reach our heart to guide us in our day-to-day life and its transactions. This is such a introspective thing, no? We discover the necessary courage to inquire in this fashion. How come this world of plurality is come? Why is it there? Why is it so real? So when you keep questioning this, then both our head and heart must assimilate any new idea till it becomes our own. This jnana has to become vijnana. Only then can these guide us in our day-to-day life and its transactions. Only then can you know the distinction between the permanent and the impermanent, the real and the unreal. The word Rishikesha can be interpreted both in its mythological tradition as well as in its ancient usage. Taking it as Hrish plus Kesha, it means one whose hair is made short. Kesha is hair, Hrish is short. In the battlefield at Kurukshetra, we meet the Lord with all his curly hairs rolled up or clipped. In the ancient sense, the term Rishikesha can be dissolved as Rishika plus Isha, Rishikesha. No doubt, Rishika is an old and obsolete word meaning sense organs. And so the epithet means Lord of our sense organs. The sense organs can function only so long as the life exists in us. So long as the self, which is the Lord of the senses, reigns in this body, so long only are we enabled to see, smell, touch, speak, etc. It is the one and only spark of life that pervades everything. Without the flow of its enlivening spirit, nothing will operate in this body or exist in the outside world. That principle of life, that universal spirit, that all-pervading Brahman is worthily called Vibhu, meaning all-pervading. I was just thinking as I was reading this, what if this body, the one body of Brahmara, name, which has the name Brahmara, suddenly falls, suddenly, the prana stops. There is nothing that happens, no? There is no speech, there is no perception, there's no reading, nothing at all. So it's that spark of life which is making everything possible. Life exists because of that. So that is Vibhu, that is all pervading. And this beautiful meaning of Rishikesha, one is a literal sense, which is Rishi and Kesha, which is short-haired one.
Yeah.
The second is Rishika plus Isha. The Isha of Rishika, that is, he's a lord of the sense organs.
So
Very
for control of the senses,
yeah,
we can, that's why I was, the other day we were discussing about this.
yeah.
Rishikesh. It's a nice name.
Nice name, nice way to understand. Rishika plus Isha.
Yes, yeah, Isha.
This all-pervading Vibhu, truth, the Brahman, appears to be the pluralistic world, as we have many times stated, because of the various conditionings through which it functions. For example, we construct different rooms in the vast open space, Akasha, and then we recognize distinct compartments in the one space as the drawing room, the bedroom, living room, etc. And then we ourselves come to treat the one Akasha as a multiple factor. We consider the numerous small spaces created by such a division as so many different room spaces. But when the walls are pulled down, the room spaces having separate individual existence ends. But thereby, the Akasha in none of them is destroyed. The room spaces become the one all space. Similarly, when an individual ego associates with its various limiting factors, upadhis, the cause for this world of plurality comes to manifest. When once these forces of limitation are destroyed, the one truth that is the basis of existence for everything shines forth as the one sun of all the world, and it, the one dynamic truth of life, is rediscovered as functioning through all the existence. Without it, there is no existence, and with this Vibhu, everything comes to exist. The Atman is one and the same before and after its realization. But when it groans under certain imaginary limitations, all due to the wrong estimations of the distorting mind, we superimpose upon it certain upadhis. And when these false limitations are removed, it is realized and rediscovered as the one self, ever dwelling everywhere.
Is that Vibhu? Is that the Vibhuti is a glory of the?
Yeah, Vibhuti is the glory of the Lord, glory of the manifestation of the Lord.
Okay, so this Vibhu, everything comes to exist with this Vibhu.
Yeah, Vibhu is same as Brahman, Vishnu, Paramatman. It's only another name.
Name for Vibhu. Okay.
Yeah. Like he said, no, we have to give so many examples in order to make the ordinary mind understand the
Right.
subtle truths of Vedanta. So
Vedanta.
therefore, we have so many names.
Yeah.
Nanopadhivashadeva jati varnashramadayah atmanyaropitasto ye rasavarnadi bhedavat. Nanopadhivashat, because of association with different conditionings, upadhis, eva only, jati varnashramadayah, caste, color, position, etc. Atmani, upon the Atman, aropitaha, are superimposed, toye, on water, rasavarnadi bhedavat, differences such as flavor, color, etc. Because of its association with different conditionings, upadhis, such ideas as caste, color, and position are superimposed upon the Atman, as flavor, color, etc. are superimposed on water. I'm just reminded of, I'll read this and then I will share that. Whether one is an advocate, a doctor, or a porter, the inner personality factors are the same. The education obtained, the apprenticeship undergone, and the profession pursued are the only differences. They are all of one community, the community of man. But in their outer description and address, each differ from all others. Similarly, life is the same everywhere, but the expression of life manifested through each one of them differs from all others. Whatever be the physical shape and form, name or caste, whatever be the emotional beauty or intellectual grasp exhibited, the Atman is the same everywhere in all creatures. There is no difference such as a young Atman or an old Atman, a Christian Atman, a Hindu Atman, a poor Atman, a rich Atman, etc. The life-giving truth in the varied existence of things is the one reality which equally thrills the entire panorama of things, persons, and personalities. It remains unaffected by and unattached to all outward marks, always a dispassionate observer of the endless drama of life. So beautifully, Swamiji has, described this.
Yeah.
The same electric current alone causes the fan to revolve, the refrigerator to cool its contents, the light to burn differently in the green, blue, or red bulbs. Because of the difference in the manifestations of the energy as it passes through the different equipments, ignorant people call them all by different names. Yet, the electricity-wise man understands them all as depending upon the one energy. So an enlightened person is like this electricity-wise man. He understands and he sees only electricity. It is the ignorant person, the ajnani, looks at the different equipments and looks at the differences. Water itself is colorless, although a given sample of it may be white, another yellow, and yet another sample red, each depending upon the nature of the extraneous matter it contains. In the same way, according to the type of vasanas in each individual, there seems to be difference between man and man. If we remove the contamination caused by the limitations, upadhis, and understand and experience the one inner spirit which runs through all the individuals, we would realize that the difference we have been perceiving is merely a superimposition on that one glorious reality, without whose illumination life would be dark and impossible, a non-existent non-entity. Yeah, this is so good. You know, when talking of the different upadhis, nano upadhigato, like one is an advocate, doctor, porter, etc. I'm reminded, I'm not sure how many of us have done the happiness program and the immortality process, wherein the chitta is run through all the different, from when you are a child, a teenager, an adult, an old man, and then Gurudev says, identify yourself as an engineer, doctor, Chinese, American. So all of that, when we take our memory through all of that, what actually remains unchanged is the changeless, eternal constant. No? So that is so beautiful. It's like, just wanted to share that. Yeah, anyone else wants to share?
Yeah, Hari Om, thank you for reminding that beautiful process, Brahmaraji, right from the womb to, it was so beautiful.
Yeah. So before we begin chapter 17, maybe we'll just take a minute, we'll just close our eyes and just think about whatever we remember of this, and then we'll go on to Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so that this knowledge kind of seeps in. So we stopped, Jai Gurudev. So we stopped here at verse 20. So we looked at the three types of tapas, sattvika, rajasika, and tamasika. And I should confess here, I've been wanting to make a route map, a road map. And today I was thinking maybe we should make a mind map, because there's so many beautiful elements to these different kinds of tapas. Like for instance, manasika tapas has elements of manah prasada, mental cheerfulness, mauna, atma vinigraha, and what was the other one?
Bhava
Bhava samshuddhi. Thank you, Dr. Mara. So these beautiful terms, no? Otherwise, see, our memory, we cannot rely so much on our memory and think all of us will remember. It's nice to put it down.
Memory is kind of going off after day after that,
Yeah.
Even the one we are just talking about, the Atma bodha, at least, we should make a point that only 2 points or whatever, 1 or 2 points to take away, which
Correct.
is like, we know that Atma is all pervading, and it's the same for irrespective of the color, creed, whatever. And the way we get that jnana is inquiring into your existence, and you kind of inquire into your mind or all the conditionings, and then that is the part of the thing. So maybe I mean, I don't know. Yesterday I thought about doing Mauna today and see if I can figure it out, but then I didn't do it. But at least we could take like one little thing, try it for 10-15 minutes and then see we can talk about it, a little bit of that, because this is our like second or third review of Atma. I felt like, at least we should take something to keep in our head.
Correct. I've been meaning to do that. I think I should get started. It's a suggestion. It's an idea that has just come. We can each of us have these drawing books. We have these A4 size drawing, or in the notebook, doesn't really matter.
People like a journal. Like,
yeah, you can journal it, just a few points, and we
right.
can move a mind map. Mind map with just some points, some things to reflect upon.
Yeah, definitely. I think
That would be good. That is some as students of Vedanta, I think that will be very important to journal, to write it down. When you listen, you get it into your system, yes, but not all of it might stay there. But when you write it down, there is more chance of it staying with you. And then when you reflect upon it, when you keep looking at it, like for instance, the 17 or 24 different things that we had written in chapter 13, the
you mean the
attributes of a seeker.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that I stuck on the against the glass of the kitchen sink. So when I'm washing vessels and all, I can look it up. So that is repeated because our mind is so full of
the other
other
day
things.
I was listening one of your Manana session, probably the one I missed. Again, you had that question about Pramata, Prameya, and Pramana.
Right.
The Pramata is the person, like you, and the Prameya is the means of Pramana is the means of knowledge.
Yeah, Pramana is the means of knowledge.
Prameya is the object of the knowledge. So that's like you remember, like Nana said, it's a flower, and then there's something else, like you call that's an object, and there's a person who does that is a Pramata. And then the other thing also I keep remembering about Bhagavan, I kind of lost my notebook where I wrote all those things. Is as we are reading these things, like right now we are talking about Shraddha and this tapas material, right? There was somewhere we read like this is to steady your mind, some process we read. I don't remember exactly where we read that. Anyway, so yeah, that's a good point, like trying to post, making a sticky notes and posting it somewhere.
Yeah. We should do that. I mean, we should get started with that. That's a suggestion.
Yeah, so if whoever like want to do the inquiry to your mind, that could be a I mean, anybody can do. Just that I'm thinking, that from today's thing, I thought the inquiry to your mind or to yourself is the homework, probably. We can see what we can do.
Yeah, because ultimately it is not like we are spending time here. This has to be fruitful in its own way. So
it's a constant thinking, right? Unless you put that in your mind, your mind is not going to think about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like for me, if I oh, you just read, like the other day we were talking about, yeah, you read it 1 or 2 hours we are doing is, oh, it's all well and good, and you close things and you go about doing something else. You completely forget about this, and then you only take it when the time comes at 7 o'clock. Okay,
Correct.
oh, the class starts, right?
And
And then I
we
will do
might
it
give
tomorrow.
ourselves some false assurance that, oh, we are on the path, so it's okay. We're
Right?
doing this.
No, it's
But
not.
in Telugu, there is a saying, it's called Kukka Toka Vankara, which means the dog's tail
Are you trying to
is.
find the tail?
So after these 2 hours,
No.
the monkey mind will go back to its original nature, original, you know,
Yeah,
behavior. So
we
then,
can take rest, but then what I'm trying to say is, like, it'd be nice in the sense, like, yeah, let's think about it. Instead of divert, I was spending time into different things, trying to understand what we are reading, but then my focus should be just on this rather than go out of this realm, so
yeah,
that way I'll have better understanding of what we are doing than you're trying to search for somewhere else.
yeah,
um so that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah.
which is true, which is true. For me, the two terms, like I told you earlier, that have
Mhm.
been going on in my head is Indriya Rama and Atma Rama. So this is there in the back of my mind. So when my hand goes to the TV remote and I want to put it on, I'm
Mm.
reminding myself, the awareness is, oh, this is Indriya Rama. My mind wants to go outwardly.
Mhm. Right.
So, and then, then you look at Atma Rama. You could listen to some, a lecture, or you read something. Then
Mhm.
you're bringing it back. You're kind of slowly taming it back to coming back to the self.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to some music today. Show it to my, I'll post it. It's really nice one, Bengali song about Durga.
Right.
Yeah, I'll post that one. Anyway. Okay, so you want to read from here, or you want to go back?
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll read from here, no? From
from
Datavyam Yaddanam, read from 20, verse 20.
Yeah, we should. You
We'll
want to?
do at least 3 verses. I know we thought we'll finish at 7, but we'll do justice to Bhagavad Gita also. दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनु दीयते अनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्. Yat danam, the charity which datavyamiti, with the attitude that it is to be given, anupakar, to the one from whom one does not expect a return, deshe, in the proper place, kale, and at the proper time, patrecha, and to a worthy recipient, diyate, is given, tat danam, that charity, satvikam, smritam, is considered satvika. So that charity which is given thinking, it is to be given to one from whom one does not expect a return, in the proper place, at the proper time, and to a worthy recipient, is considered satvika charity. Dr. Mara, you want to read this?
Yeah, sure. Charity that is given with the charity that is given with attitude. It is to be given. Datavyam iti is satvika dana. A particular situation calls for giving, and that gives rise to the response. This is to be given by me. Like the appreciation of Karma Yoga, this is to be done by me. The same attitude extended to giving when is sorry, where it is to be done, the same attitude The same attitude extended to giving when it is to be done is charity. This is also therefore karma yoga. What is given may be some article or it may be some help, extended in the form of effort. It is the attitude with which it is done that makes giving sattvika. Whether it is sattvika or not is also determined by the kind of person to whom it is given. Charity that is sattvika is that given to a person whom you do not expect to help you in return. Anupak, anupak, anupakarini, anupakarini, karinye, anupakarinye, yat diyate, diyate. Shankara says this can be a person who is incapable of returning your help, like someone very old or feeble or impoverished, whose circumstances are not likely to improve much. It is clearly a one-way giving, but he says that this type of charity is also given to someone who is capable of returning the aid with no expectation of return. Even though he is capable of giving, you don't expect him to return your help. This is called dana. That is called dana. Otherwise, it becomes an investment. Only dana that is given without any expectation of return, even thanks, is real giving. People often complain, I gave him a gift and he didn't even thank me. That's very true. Or they say, he never remembers me, he never writes. This attitude is a problem. Here, however, even though the person to whom you give is capable of giving back, that is not the expectation. It is said that when you give with the right hand, the left hand need not know. What is given is totally forgotten. That is real giving and is called here Sattvika Dana. It is also important that the person should be a suitable recipient. Patra. Patra literally means a vessel, and the one who receives is like a receptacle. Therefore, he is also called a patra. The person should deserve the help that you extend or the gift that you give. You cannot simply give just because somebody asks you. You have to see whether the person deserves it or not. Shankara also says that it should be given to Sadhanka Veda Paraga, a person who has the knowledge of 6 disciplines auxiliary to the study of the Veda. What 6 disciplines is talking about? Sadhanga Veda Paraga.
Given to the Shadanga Veda.
Shadanga.
Shanga Veda Paraga.
Paraga, yeah.
Paraga. A person who has knowledge of the 6 disciplines auxiliary to the study of the Vedas.
Veda. There is a lot of 6 disciplines. Shamadama. It's like Shatya Sambhati. That's when I remember.
This Shadanga Veda is, there are 6 disciplines of the Veda, no? The subdivisions of the Veda, which is the Vedangas. There's a thought block right now.
It's okay, I'll read it.
Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharvaved, and then Samhita, Brahmanam, Aranyakam, and Upanishad.
Samhita, Brahmanam, Brahmana and Aranyaka Upanishad are parts of every Veda. these Shadanga Veda is like Sankhya Veda and what is that? Kapila's, he did the Sankhya. There are six, let me tell you. I actually made a list of that.
So he's saying that
Is it
you give.
Advaita?
Okay.
No, not Advaita Bila. It is, let me tell you. I'll get the thing.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'll just.
In the Shat Darshanas, no. We
Mm.
have the Shat Darshanas. Shat Darshana are the different parts of the Veda. Different, not parts of the Veda. They are um, Shat Darshanas. Let me get you that. The 6 philosophies of life, actually. They are Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa, and Satvika. Satvika, no. Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. So these are the Shat Darshanas. So I don't know whether the Shadanga Veda Paraga that he's talking of, Shankara is talking of, is a person who has knowledge of these 6 disciplines.
Okay.
We can park this question because
we'll leave it later.
Patra does not, I mean, if you're going to give only to such a person, then what about all the others who deserve actually, right?
It may be coming down as we.
Yeah, maybe. As we read, we'll understand. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So basically, okay, not only that, giving is to be done at the right place and right time. They say Kale Cha. This is part of religious culture. Shankara says it is to be given at a place like Kurukshetra, which is considered a place where one can accumulate punya. That is, it is a punya kshetra. In such places, people come to take a bath on certain days. Kurukshetra is a place near Delhi where there is a large pond that is considered sacred, in which people take a religious bath, especially on the day of solar eclipse. And every 12 years, when Jupiter moves into Aries, there is a Kumbh Mela. Thousands of people come here for a bath at that time. And wherever there is a temple or a place of sacred bathing like a river, it becomes a place of pilgrimage and is considered a Punyakshetra. Rishikesh is a Punyakshetra because it is at the foothills of the Himalayas, where the river Ganga comes down to the plains. Similarly, Haridwar and Varanasi are Punyakshetras, and a place of confluence, Prayaga, like Allahabad, where the Ganga meets the Yamuna, is a Punyakshetra, Prayaga. Sometimes, by association, a place becomes a Punyakshetra, like Ayodhya by association with Sri Rama, Vrindavan by association with Sri Krishna, or because of association with a saint or some event recorded in the Puranas. A place is considered sacred in the minds of people. There is a whole literature on the various kshetras in the Indian culture. A holy place has its own Sthala Purana relating the events that make the place sacred. Any sacred place is the appropriate place for charity. In fact, it is mandatory that one give dana at such sacred places. So the dana given at such places to the right person at the right time is considered sattvika. It is also important to give at the right time. Help must come on time. It is of no use giving first aid treatment after 7 hours. The person has to be attended to immediately. Charity also has to be done when it is needed. There is also religiously appropriate time to give. Shankara mentions the Punya Kala for giving dana as Shankaranti, the time of the winter solstice, when the sun begins to travel north, etc. Oh, this Mahara Sankranti is considered a good day for distribution of food. Grahana, the time of an eclipse, is also a very sacred time for distribution of money. This is done even today. Dana is very important thing in the Vedic tradition. When even today food, cattle, land, house, and clothing are given as part of a ritual. And lastly, a daughter is given away in marriage. That is highest dana of this type. But Vidya dana, giving knowledge, is higher than that too. Now Bhagavan describes the Rajasak dana in the next verse. So the Sattvic dana, there's so much.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
Desha, Kala, and Patra. To whom it is given, when it is given, and
Right place, right person, right time.
yeah, and how it is given.
How it is given. I think,
Rishikesh, I'm just reminded in Rishikesh, we have these Bela Rishi Vidyadharji used to have
Yeah,
this
Sadhu Bandara.
Sadhu Bandara, no? Now it's clicking now. Sadhu,
Yes,
the time and the place.
correct,
Punyaka,
correct,
he would insist it be done on Amavasya and Purnima, right?
correct, correct.
On Amavasya and Purnima, there would be the Sadhu Bandara, where all the sadhus living in and around Rishikesh would come, and they would be given a dana of food, clothes, and yeah. So eclipse time also. Eclipse also, if I remember, you're supposed to do japa, dana, and dhyana. Snana, japa, dhyana, and dana. So eclipse time is a good time to do. So this, I think when we were discussing earlier, if I remember, we had some questions about, oh, what is the time of giving, right? So I
yeah,
think according to our Vedic tradition, these are the times. But of
yeah,
course, it is important also to give at the right time. Like first aid, you don't do after 7 hours. So based on the situation, if there is someone in need of money right now there, like he's going for an operation and he doesn't have the required amount. So you don't, say, I'll wait for the eclipse to come or this one to come, Punya Kala to come. You give when it's required.
yes,
But otherwise, when you're doing general dana for the welfare of people and society and all that, then you choose this Punya Kala and then this Grahana and then Makara Shankranti and all of that.
You know, I just want to share in our Gujarat, we have a Makar Sankranti, we have a culture of Gupta Dana. My mother-in-law prepares the laddu, til laddu, and inside that she will insert the coins or notes, or when she gives to all those who come for work and domestic laborers and all to those people who are workers.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Didi, when our knowledge sessions are organized and against venue, some contributions are given. So then is that an appropriate dana? And like what kind of dana that would come? That is not a dana?
That is more like Guru Dakshina, no?
Okay.
Because you have received knowledge and you're giving Dakshina in return, that you have
Yeah.
received that knowledge.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe that doesn't come as dana. Dana, like here he says, when you expect nothing in return. Here you're getting the knowledge. You've already got the knowledge and therefore you're giving something.
Right.
But dana
Where,
is
where, what? I didn't get that question. Where are you donating to? Sorry.
Didi, like gurus, they come to give knowledge. So for
Oh,
that, pandals are organized, or because you need some place wherein they will come and give knowledge, right?
oh,
So
oh,
people contribute out for that.
okay, okay.
So that
Yeah.
is where I was asking, will it come under dana or will it? Yeah, Brahmaraji rightly told, na, it will come under dakshina. That is really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, Dakshina.
Yeah, we call it Bhiksha as well, no, Brahmaraji?
yeah, Bhiksha also. Bhiksha.
So but the other things like, say sometimes some places like tsunami or some other, like somebody's building the temple, they need
Yeah,
donation.
that comes as dana.
Mm,
And
yeah.
then I really liked what Swamiji mentioned. You
Mm,
know, we do it, and this has happened to me, honestly, when I did a good favor to one of my friends. She was admitted in the hospital, and I was providing food to her. All that was there, and I would go and visit her. But I was telling my daughter, uh, this happened a few years ago.
mm,
I was telling her, she has not even said thank you,
mm.
you know. So that is not a satvika dana at all.
Yeah. Like
Because,
that's what it's reading, which is what we normally do, right?
yeah,
Oh, they didn't even say thank you. You
so
went through all
now,
the trouble doing
correct.
it.
In retrospect, what I
Yeah,
did was more a rajasika dana. It was not
right.
satvika at all. Because I
Expecting
did,
something.
with all good intentions, I did.
Yeah.
Wanted to help her. It was at the appropriate time. She required that help and support. But that one attitude that was there in my mind, see, she was not grateful. She did not even say thank you. That is it. That slashed the whole thing out.
You know
That,
what my mother says, Brahmaraji, when you do some favor and if the person doesn't say thanks, it means your account is fixed deposited. The
Oh,
punya is not utilized. But the moment she says thank you, it is balanced, you know. So that my mother used to tell me when
that's a
I
beautiful
was
thing,
small.
no?
that's good.
Right.
You gained punya by she not saying any thank you to you. But
Yeah.
then that was the usual expectation that we had,
Yeah.
until we reading this
Correct.
part.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, it's naturally people being humble, like you like to express your gratitude. That's also one way of doing things, right? I mean, not because they are just doing it. Or, how do you say then? We always say thank you to even within our own family, right?
See that
No, Gurudev doesn't want. Gurudev says no. The moment you say thank you, it means you are thinking that the other person is different. It is
Yeah.
like you are thinking that he or she, whoever you have helped. So when the belongingness is there, then there is no need for these all formalities. That's what Gurudev says, and
It has to come even if you say thank you, that it has to come from the throat level, not from your deeper level. Because deeper level, you're one and the same. Actually, when you say thank you, you're like what Bela said, you're separating yourself.
Well, is that right? I mean, here it's so normal to say thank you to, I don't know, it's lip level or it's the inner level or whatever level it is.
Also, having
It's
said that,
naturally people, yeah.
being in gratitude is a good space rather than being grumbling and complaining. So that's a better
Right.
space to be in.
and moreover,
Yeah.
in Indian culture, they don't have profusely, they don't thank constantly, they won't say thank you, thank you. As long as she showed her in her eyes, the gratitude, you can make out. That also is good, I think. Say good.
Actually,
Yeah.
sometimes thank you is just like for courtesy, and the gratitude is so much in the heart that thank you is not enough. It's just, it automatically comes out of gratitude at times. But we know and from heart that it is not enough, just a word. They have done so much more than for us.
Well, maybe somewhere we learn about gratitude then.
Right.
Shall we move on to the next?
Yeah, we'll
verse?
move on. We'll move on.
Yeah.
So there are different kinds of dana: food, cattle, land, house, clothing, and then what is that? Kanya dana, daughter is given away in marriage. And then you have Vidya dana, which is of the highest type.
Higher than. So
All Sanskrit teachers, no wonder why they are so much dedicated.
Who?
All Sanskrit language teachers, Sanskrit Bharti.
Jai Gurudev, regarding this Kanyadan, Gurudev, he doesn't like, he says, vastu hoti hai, kanya koi vastu hoti hai, dan karne ke liye, he says, no?
My daughter doesn't like it too. She says, what am I? Am I commodity to be given away in dana?
It's all
But
old. Yeah.
I don't know whether it is that, or it must be having its significance.
The reality is we are giving, right? It is like gifting. The reality is that we are giving, no?
Yeah.
But the modern times, things are changing now, right? I mean, we still follow the tradition, but we need to learn what the meaning is, more of it.
That is true.
Yeah.
See,
Anyway,
like everything has a literal meaning and an implied meaning.
Right.
No, I think we should take the implied meaning, not the literal meaning. It is not like she's our daughter, of course, is not some commodity that you just give away. No, you are giving your wealth, the samskaras, the upbringing that you have, invested in your daughter. You are giving her to another family. So that way it's the wealth that is there is going. It's not just the material thing that you're talking about, but it is the whole set of traditions, the culture, knowledge, and everything that you have is going. And we know that this is my understanding, the woman is the most powerful thing in a family. She's the one person who can bring about so much of change. So that way, I suppose it is a dana. It is one of the highest danas.
Just an addition, I think for understanding and understanding the emotions behind this, we should really read the dialogues between King Janaka and King Dashiratha. I mean, I was in complete tears when, as a Mithilapati, he is giving his daughter to Lord King Dashiratha, and the dialogues which are there, I mean, it will touch the heart of any parent. It's so beautifully they have narrated. Very nice. The dialogue between King Janaka and King Dashiratha.
Yeah. Maybe if you can share that will be great, Bela. If time permits, if it's there ready with you, you could share it on the group maybe.
It was long back I had read. I will definitely share
part
once.
Of Ramayana, is it?
Yeah. Part of Ramayana. But it's very, very beautifully narrated.
Yeah. So should we go to verse 21 now, or do we do it tomorrow? I think it's 7:30 now. It must be quite late, no, for some people. I think we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay, good.
We'll park it here and we'll continue tomorrow. We have one question from here. Is that what was that? The Shadanga, the person, the Patra, right? the person to whom dana is to be given. We just check that with Nana. Om loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev. Hari Om.
Ayom Jai Gurudev.